Adventures of Lolo is a fun little game. It's based off of the Eggerland series in Japan. You control Lolo, who is storming the castle of King Egger to save Lala. This isn't an action-packed game at all. It's sort of a puzzle game where you push a bunch of blocks and turn enemies into eggs. If you're a fan of the Kirby series, you may notice that Lolo and Lala look a little bit like some end-boss enemies in Kirby's Dream Land. Every stage requires you to collect heart tiles to open a chest. When the chest is opened, you can collect a jewel that opens the door to the next stage. There are a variety of enemies that you will have to defeat or outwit to proceed. In some instances, when you collect a heart tile, you'll acquire some ammo. This allows Lolo to shoot enemies and turn them into eggs. Shoot them again and Lolo will blow the egg away. Sometimes collecting heart tiles will allow you to use a power, which would be something along the lines of the ability to create a bridge, a hammer to break boulders, or an arrow that changes the direction of a one-way tile. The enemies you encounter range from simple roadblocks to lethal projectiles spewing spawns of Satan. These can be avoided by pushing blocks to shield you from their line of fire. Other enemies you have to run from or trap them so they don't kill you. It's a game of planning. When you start a stage, everything is paused until you move Lolo so you can plan your strategy. It's always best to look over the entire stage first, because otherwise you'll overlook that nasty Medusa head and it will kill you as soon as you enter her line of sight. The graphics are pretty good for the era. It's nothing incredible to look at, but the characters are pretty detailed and colorful. I like how all the different enemies look and how well Lolo is animated. The background for each level is pretty similar, but it doesn't really detract from the gameplay. The one song that you hear during the levels would not have been a bad track for a level or two, but since it plays throughout the entire game, you tend to tune it out, or turn it down and listen to something else. Well, that's what I did. The game isn't long, especially if you are good at logic puzzles or you've played the game before. The game has a very simple password system that starts you out at whichever stage you left off at. Game overs bring you to the title screen, but you can continue right where you left off. Controlling Lolo is a bit slippery. Until you get used to him, you may end up accidentally moving past your intended target. Adventures of Lolo was a game I rented a lot as a kid. My mom and I played it together often. I was very happy to finally pick this game up. I'd say it's worth a look if you have a Wii or Wii U Virtual Console and you want to try it out. Physical copies on the NES typically sell for around 10 to 15 bucks, maybe even up to 20. I've seen it. If you're not real nostalgic about this game, or you're not actually trying to actively collect the entire Nintendo library, I'd say try it out on the Virtual Console before picking it up as a physical copy. It's fun. I like the game. It's just very short. But I do recommend playing it. I do recommend giving it a try. And I don't really have much else to say about Adventures of Lolo. Later.